Okay, today we're going to go through the vocabulary associated with our acting unit. There's going to be a lot of vocabulary in this unit, and it's very important that we know the vocabulary words because they're universal no matter what acting company you work for, and they're very important to know so that when someone says something to you, you know what words they're saying. Theater has a lot of unique vocabulary words associated with it, so we're going to walk through the ones associated with acting. So the first thing we're going to talk about is stage directions and different things that are on stage. So center stage, down stage, stage right, stage left, upstage, and then the wings. This diagram should help you with your stage directions. So if you're standing on stage facing the audience, that is right and left. So your right hand as you're on stage facing the audience is stage right. And then stage left is on the other side. So your left hand is going to be stage left. This is going to be very important, especially as an actor or a director, because when we get blocking, which is when the director tells you where you need to go, they're going to give it to you in stage directions. So it's very important you know stage right from stage left. So your right is as you're on stage facing the audience, that is your right and your left. It is the opposite of the audience's right and left. Next is going to be up and down stage. Upstage is going to be towards the back wall, and downstage is going to be towards the audience. This is because some stages used to be ranked stages, so they used to be on an incline. So if you're walking backwards, you were walking up the hill. And if you're walking downwards, you were walking down the hill. So that's why that is up and down. So your right and your left, as you're facing the audience, is going to be stage right and stage left. If you walk backwards, you're walking upstage. If you're walking down towards the audience, you're walking downstage. The wings are going to be these areas off to the side. Those are going to be the wings. Okay, next vocabulary word is black box. A black box is a theater that is just a black box. So there's just curtains on all sides. A black box is often a small theater. Usually it doesn't seat very many people, around 100, 150 maybe. But the stage and the audience can be placed wherever. Unlike a traditional theater where the audience has set seats, the seats will have to be added in here. So the black box is usually used for more of a creative type show, more of an intimate type show, and you can really adjust where you want to put things as far as the audience seating, the stage parts, that kind of a thing. Okay, next vocabulary word is going to be call board. The call board is used to communicate between the actors and the directors and the technical units. You'll see a calendar on there. You'll see a sign-in sheet. You'll see different notices of things that you need to be aware of. So the call board is where you check for all your information no matter what show you're working on. The green room is not always a green room, but it is where the actors wait to go on stage. Usually you can hear, or they have some sort of a TV where you can see what's going on so you know when you should go on. This way there's not a whole bunch of people just hanging out backstage, somewhere where you can wait until you have to go on. Okay, next vocabulary word is going to be a type of stage. It's called theater in the round. So a theater in the round, the audience sits all around the stage. So you'll see the audience is sitting on all sides of the stage, and it's in somewhat of a circle. Okay, next vocabulary word is going to be a prop. Prop is anything that the actor carries on stage with them. So cups, glasses, anything that the actor carries on and off stage with them is going to be a prop. Next vocabulary word is proscenium theater. So proscenium theater, the audience sits on one side of it, even though there's a little bitty wings over here, that's still one side of the stage, and it's surrounded with a sort of outside picture frame looking thing. So your audience is going to sit on one side facing the proscenium theater, and it usually has some sort of an archway over it. Okay, next type of stage is going to be a thrust theater stage. So the stage is thrust out into the audience, so the audience sits on 3 full sides of the stage. Next vocabulary word is script. Script is going to be what the actual dialogue of the play is on. It has your lines as well as any necessary stage directions. Next word is set. The set is going to be the things on stage that show you where it actually is. So it's any flats, platforms, backdrops, that kind of a thing. The sets are used to indicate location. Next one is going to be aside. Go to YouTube, pause this video, find the one where it says the Shakespearean aside. But an aside is going to be a short, kind of like a monologue delivered just to the audience. So the character is going to speak just to the audience, commenting about other things that are going on around them. Next word is going to be blocking, like I kind of talked about earlier. Blocking is when the director tells you where to go during specific scenes. Where to stand, where to sit, where to walk, when to walk. Next word is going to be callback. Callback is after your initial audition. If you get a callback, that means they want to see you again. So they might want to see how particular actors work with other actors, how the would be set up if those two actors are cast in the role. Sometimes it's just to see between you in different parts. So callback is going to be the second audition that you go to. Next type of audition is called a cold call. So you're not going to know what you're going to be doing ahead of time. Usually a cold call, they have specific lines from the script that they want you to read from. Sometimes they give you those pages ahead of time, and sometimes you find out when you get there. But a cold call is going to use specific lines or monologues from the script during the audition. Cross and countercross. When you cross, you walk in front of another character, and then countercross is if you walk in front of that character again. A dress rehearsal is the first time that the actors are actually in their costumes. So dress rehearsals are rehearsals with everything, all of tech, all of costumes. It's just like as if it was a show, but it's a rehearsal. Next word is going to be improvisation. To see more of what improvisation looks like, go to YouTube, pause this video, go to Ellen Plays Improv Game with Steve Carell, 11-13-08. I'll give you an example. But improvisation is a type of performance where there's very broad, basic rules set up. It's almost kind of like a game where you have maybe specific characters, specific roles, but there's no actual lines of dialogue. Next vocabulary word is going to be method acting. So go to YouTube, pause this video, and find Jared Leto on method acting, watch this video, and come back. Method acting is when you get into character by playing that character outside of that script or performance. So you really get into the mind of that character. And if you were that character, what would you do? Next vocabulary word is open up. So when you open up, you're facing more towards the audience and you're not facing your back to the audience. So you always want to make sure that the audience can see your face. Even if you're talking to another character, you're not going to be directly facing them. You're going to be on like a 3/4 turn where most of you is facing the audience. That way the audience can still see your face. Next vocabulary word is pantomime. So pantomime is kind of like miming. You're going to act out the scene without using any words at all. Next word is prepared audition. So unlike the cold call, you'll have an audition or 16 bars of a song memorized. It's usually 1 minute of comedic and 1 minute of dramatic, and then 16 bars if you're doing a musical. So you know this ahead of time. You have it prepared. You have it ready to go, you have it memorized, and you've rehearsed it several times before you actually go to the audition. Tech rehearsal, or cue to cue, is where the tech gets to see how everything looks together, so lights and sounds and costumes and practicing. Oftentimes, the stage manager or technical director will be the one to run the cue to cue, so you go through the whole script from tech cue to tech cue. So this is not a rehearsal for the actors. It's for the technical people that are working on the show to kind of see how everything works together. So they might skip certain pages if there's not a lot of cues and then see what the next cue looks like. Next word is window. So window is when you leave an opening of space in between two people and then one person stands behind them. So that way no people are standing directly behind each other.